Chapter 19 is a very unique route map. The layout is comprised of 6 separate rooms connected by stairs, which effectively create a western and eastern path that rejoin in the center, leading to the boss room in the north. The enemies can't use the stairs, so we'll have to stop by each and every room. Every enemy has their own weird stat spread, but the general trend is that the western path has 0 defense and high resistance, and the eastern path has 0 resistance and high defense. As such, the combat for this chapter should be simple, but the enemies in the north have a few tricks for us and competent defenses in both areas. And so, we'll have to bust out a few tricks of our own to defeat them as we rush to ascend. To handle both paths, we will of course be splitting into 2 groups. Only one has to reach the northern room, which I leave to Scarlet and Saizo while wrapping around the eastern path. But ironically enough, I need most of our combat units to push through the shorter western path. This is because I want Kagero to move all the way to the center room by turn 3 without Azura, and we need several player phase actions in the northwestern room to defeat the adventurers and open the chest. And so, their trajectory is to get everyone into the first western room turn 1, breach the northwestern room turn 2, then push Kagero into the center room turn 3. Most of our combat units are physical, so the western group definitely has enough firepower to defeat their enemies. As for the eastern group, we have Hinoka with the Bolt Naginata and the new Omiyogi Izana to clean up the few enemies that Scarlet and Saizo leave behind. Izana is a lot like Ryoma in that he has really strong combat for late game, which will be useful for the last couple route maps, but not much else. However, he also brings rally magic and high accuracy for offensive saves, which will each have their moments in the final chapters. Scarlet and Saizo's goal is to get to the northern room turn 3. This means we need them to reach the center room turn 2, which then means they need to reach the northeastern room turn 1. Scarlet's 10 move means she just needs a shove and lunge to reach her turn 1 target in 2 actions, and we can take advantage of the layout to rescue Azura in range of Scarlet to refresh her. Because normal mode didn't fully commit to the min-maxing of the enemy's defensive stats, she still does decent physical damage, and by separating with Saizo, the two can use each other's dual strikes to kill the hero and Master of Arms. Saizo may not double, but his C-rank in Tomes has unlocked access to the Steel Tier Tiger Spirit, which is strong enough to almost Oko the 0-res enemies. I specifically have the 2 positioned so just Saizo is in range of the hero, so only the Master of Arms can attack Scarlet. Their hit rates aren't the highest, but now even if everyone lands, she can always survive. The one inconsistency here is that Saizo needs to get magic on his level up so he can defeat the boss without a crits. Hinoka and Korin don't do quite so well against their bow enemies, but we of course don't care about their temporary deaths, and can just finish the enemies on the following turn. The Mechanist is guaranteed to target Korin since she takes the most damage, which is good because Silas and Jakob can then defeat the Mechanist, while ending on a diagonal formation 5 tiles away from the stairs, which we'll need for turn 3. We also guarantee that Reina gets an attack stance partner from Subaki while defeating the Maid, regardless of where the Mechanist attacks from. Past this, we can also get Ryoma and Subaki into the northwestern room to defeat the adventurers. They don't have any weapons, so we can't defeat them on enemy phase, and defeating them now means we don't have to worry about them turn 3. Again, these western enemies have 0 defense, so even Subaki is strong enough to one-round them, with Kagero's ninja pair-up letting him double. The movement boost also lets Subaki attack from the adventurers east, which puts Subaki closer to the next set of stairs in his journey to ferry Kagero to the center room. This is important, because while Scarlet can defeat the Master Ninja while lunging her way north, she's not strong enough to one-round the Great Masters. However, she does enough damage to activate their healing AI, and since they are both healers, they will just wait next to each other, forever waiting for the other to heal themselves. Kind of selfish if you ask me, but regardless, this means we need a unit to specifically get in range to defeat one on player phase, so the other will give up and attack into us turn 3 enemy phase. The issue is that even with Subaki attacking his adventurer from the east, he's still 13 tiles away from reaching where the Great Masters will be. He has 9 move when paired with Kagero, and can switch to Kagero for 2 range, but this still means he needs to move an extra 2 tiles. I've set up an extensive transfer chain to get Rinka to shove him for one of these tiles, but this still leaves us 1 short. My solution, then, is to intentionally let Subaki die to a sniper. With Kagero now occupying the tile he died on, Phoenix mode will have to revive him on an adjacent tile, and this uses the same priority as Rescue's tie-breaking rule, defaulting to north first. Subaki dying to the first sniper also means the second is forced to attack into the newly revealed Kagero, who can accurately one-round with the weapon triangle inversing dual shuriken. It works out so that Rinka can walk herself to pair up with one of our paladins turn 3, who can then transfer Rinka to Korin to reach Subaki. And because we set up both paladins in a diagonal, My transfer chain to get Azura paired up with Rinka also means we can get Azura into the northwestern room. This isn't strictly necessary, but it does translate to some extra gold for the late game. With Azura, Ryoma can defeat the last sniper, taking their chest key, and then get refreshed to unlock the Hexing Rod chest. We do need a Hexing Rod for the late game, and while you can buy one from the Rod store, this saves us 3,000 gold. The only inconsistency this adds is that the sniper that kills Subaki has to do so from his west, northwest, or southwest. If the sniper attacks Subaki from the north, then Ryoma can still reach them, but Azura wouldn't be able to reach Ryoma. If you find you don't need the extra gold, then I would say you should definitely just ignore the chest for the greater consistency. In the boss room, the Swordmaster's gimmick is that they have 0 skill but cap speed, which means they have a lot of avoid and Saizo can't double them. I won't rely on hitting twice between player and enemy phase, but in targeting them for our player phase attack, we get off Poison Strike damage, on top of the Savage Blow damage that also gets dealt to the General and Spearmaster. Those two don't have any gimmick, but they are quite durable with Weapon Triangle advantage, and Savage Blow just barely lets us defeat them on enemy phase. Then for the Berserker, Saizo may not double, but their gimmick is having high strength with just 15 HP, so Saizo obviously one-shots. And that's Chapter 19 completed in 3 turns. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.